What's going on, guys? eBibs here, Mr. Remote Life. So I got a good one for you today. We upgraded our Apple TV remote to the new Siri Remote. Check it out. Alright guys, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen what's going on. We are, Apple just released a few new products, and we actually grabbed up a couple, spent some money. I grabbed the Apple TV Siri Remote, and what I've been doing is over the weekend, it just came in like Thursday or Friday. So I've just been using it all weekend just to give you some true real world user experience, not prepaid or anything like that, because I bought my own gear. So so here's the rundown, guys. This was the old Apple TV joint, and they upgraded it to a much larger metal device. Whole lot easier to hold in your hand. This joint would slip out of your hand like crazy. And they had some good updated features, and we're gonna go over them in a little bit with the design portion. Excuse me. We're gonna go over them a little bit with the design portion. And then we're gonna give you a little bit of user feedback and some real world experience using it over the last few days. Cool thing though, with the Apple ecosystem, of course, they make everything easy. The coolest thing is pairing this thing. So this one is actually paired to my remote, or my TV that's in another room upstairs, my living room, whatever. I got a new remote for the one in my office. So I only have two Apple TVs in my home now, because I cut the cord a few years ago, and it was the best thing for me in my house. So Apple TV is the best thing for me in my house. But let's go to the upgrade review. So basically, this thing is really fragile feeling. If you can tell the thickness and thinness of it, this thing is really like a piece of glass a lot of times. And actually, this is glass. So I've seen other people that actually crack theirs, I'm sure, from dropping it. So I've been pretty careful in the few years I've had it. But so I have the Apple TV 4K and then just a regular Apple TV. So if you have either one of those flavors, you don't necessarily have to go with the new model, Apple TV new model, because really all it does is it supports HDR. I think that's really the only upgrade features. They did a few other things on the internals with the bionic chip or whatever, but processing is the same. It's pretty much all the same. So if you already have an Apple TV that's 4th generation or higher, you should be compatible with this. Check the Apple website. I'll give you a compatibility link in the description below, and you can quickly just do that. So if you're not in the Apple TV, you might just learn something, and you might want to go pick one up. Especially if you are in the Apple ecosystem, because one of the cool things and functions about Apple TV is if you don't have HomeKit in your home, that is a good way to install a HomeKit hub in your home, is going through your Apple TV. If you guys want to know the setup on how to get that configured and everything, just leave comments in the description below or in the comment section below, and I'll make another video for that, just giving you guys a step 2 on how to set up HomeKit and using the Apple TV as your hub. But today we're just gonna stick to the Siri Remote. So one thing they did change, they brought back the jog wheel that you would normally get on the olden days Apple iPod. It's kind of cool. The center is still it's a press and it's a multi-touch. So one thing I've noticed, the easiest way to pair it straight out of the box, all you do is you hold the back button and the volume up button, and it pairs super fast. I'll give you a demo of that in just a second. But from what I've seen so far, I like this remote. My wife likes this remote. Little man likes this remote, and it's mainly because of this button right here. This mute button is a relationship aid. Fellas, you're watching the game, your lady come in the room, what she want to do? Start a conversation. So, easiest thing to do is hit that mute button and have that conversation, guys. Trust me, you want to talk. You want to have that conversation and make sure you're paying attention and you're listening and being conversational with your lady. But It's a cool feature. It's a cool functionality. You still have your Siri button. It's actually located here on the side, and it's pretty quick. And then you have the microphone up top, and it has a back button, a play button, and your volume rockers, and your Apple TV home, or your home button, Apple TV home button, whatever. By default, if you push that button, it brings up Apple TV Plus. So pairing. Fresh out of the box, you hit the back button and the volume up button, and it pairs so instantly. Let's do that now. First thing you want to do when you're pairing it, you want to take it over. You have to be kind of close to your Apple TV. You can't just be sitting across the room, because it don't work like that. So let's walk over and let's pair our remote. All right, so the cool thing about this is you don't have to go into a pairing screen or anything like that. All you have to do is hold that back button and the volume up button, and be a little close to your, like a foot away from your Apple TV. And watch how quickly this thing pairs. Okay, so technical difficulty. The remote is literally sitting on top of the Apple TV, so I don't see why it's not pairing. Let's try this. Let's try dropping it and possibly breaking the remote. Bring it closer to your TV. It's literally sitting in front of it. Okay, so here's our issue, guys. You have to be running the latest 14.5 update in order for this to work. So if you have that issue, here's how you troubleshoot it. Update your Apple TV. All right, so take two. We just reboot it, and here we go. That fast. That's how fast it's supposed to work. So back to our position. All right, so as you see how fast that thing, this thing pairs to your Apple TV. That's how it's supposed to work. So, all right, so here's my experience. Say for instance, I like YouTube TV, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mute this. So let's find something that we can play. All right, as you see, nothing's happening with my volume rocker and my mute button. So this is only in a situation that I'm in for my office and my studio. In my living room, I don't have this problem. But since everything's in the rack here, my Apple TV is set to remote control by either IR or my Harmony remote. So the thing about that is with the Harmony remote, it's in the rack with the Apple TV, so that works. But when you're trying to use this, you have to set it to pair to auto. So a lot of times with my TV and my receiver, the handshake and the I forgot what it's called. It has something to do with controlling over HDMI. I'll put it right here in the captions after I remember. Anyway, that handshake doesn't really work well together. For some reason, it does not cooperate. So a lot of times I have to use something else. So what we're going to try to do now, we're going to do a real world experience, a real world test to where we're going to try to fix that. Matter of fact, let's kill everything. Oh yeah, so if you double tap this home button here, and then you can just swipe. You see how we're doing? You can swipe and you can kill apps. It's not as responsive as the little square fragile thing, but we're gonna get to that in a second. So cool thing about this is with the jog wheel, you can click and touch. I don't know if you've ever used a Amazon remote, but they have like the same kind of wheel. With this one, you can scroll, or you can just point to it and then select, or you can just multi-touch like this and swipe. So you have different options. You can scroll, or you can just click up and down, or you can just swipe. Kind of cool. So what we're doing, you see I have Harmony via IR. That's actually something that I taught it. So that's a, you don't want to go via IR, you want to go auto. So if we can go auto, oh look, it actually works now. And we can mute. Cool. Mute, unmute, volume up, volume down. So I guess they fixed that in the update. The handshake works. So real world test complete. All right, so back to what we were saying. In the controls, right? So if we are in YouTube and we go, let's check out some more Mr. Remote Life, see what he's talking about. Hit the Siri button, Mr. Remote Life. Oh, look at that handsome fella. So, I don't know, guys. This Fandelier has been getting major traction, so let's mute that. But the whole thing is jogging. This whole scroll, you see how you can scroll like this. But one of the functions I really like about this remote is if you click, it lets you do 15-second jumps, which was always a function that I only had on the remote on my phone. So when controlling the TV from my phone, I could do 15-second jumps or 10-second jumps, I'm sorry. But now it's already built in the remote where you can jump 10 seconds in your scrubbing of your videos, which is really cool to be built in because I only had that functionality here. It was on the little skinny remote, but it was a specific point on the remote to where you had to touch to get it, and that just it was more annoying than it was helpful to use. So now just having that, you could just click, get those 10-second jumps. And then one thing I have noticed, when you're scrubbing a lot of times, you try to scrub and then you try to select, sometimes it's hit or miss whether it goes there, because I've scrubbed a show and then went to select and it jumped back to where I started scrubbing from. So that's a nuance. I guess that's something they'll probably fix with the firmware update or whatever. But last but not least, gaming with this remote. It does not work. So for instance, my son and I like to play Crossy Road. So funny. The direction pad or scroll wheel does not work when you're playing any of the games. I even tried it on the racing game, and I'll show you in a second. But here on Crossy Road, you're limited to the small touch space on how you operate. So if you look here, I can't move. So I'm about to get caught by the eagle. But if I start clicking that middle, that's the only way to move. And also your forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards, and left to right, and jumping. So it's that's a nuance, and I think that's something that either the game developers are gonna have to fix to accommodate for the new remote, or that's something that'll come in the update to where you're gaming on the Apple TV, or just get the Nimbus controller. That's the best way to play anyway when you're playing on Apple TV. But all in all, I would say this is a major upgrade and a good, well worth $50 purchase for what it is. So I hope you guys learned something about it. And once again, if you're not into Apple TV, that's good for you. But for me, in my house, Apple TV is the way to go. I I like this thing. I'll probably be grabbing the new Apple TV 4K just because I'm probably gonna upgrade the rooms. Right now we're running Roku boxes and YouTube TV is fighting with Roku, so that's a totally different story, off subject. And they're making it harder for us to watch our live sports and PBS Kids on Roku. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change it and probably just put Apple TVs in every room. Until next time, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something, and go out, get you something, do something dope, and take control of your lives, guys, because that's what the remote life is all about. We are doing the things we love and loving the things we do. Until next time, we out of here. Peace.